Hello, welcome to the second of the two lectures on political parties in the state of Texas. So far on the first part, we've discussed the historical trajectory of partisan politics and the current state of party dominance in the state of Texas. In this second segment, we will discuss the future of Texas politics. Political scientists and demographers argue that Texas will be one of the most democratic voting states in the near future for a number of demographic, economic, and political changes that have been occurring in the state. First of these changes is the increasing urbanization. When we look at the data, we see that in the last 100 years, the percentage of rural population in Texas has fallen from nearly 78% to only 15% today. Actually, this data is 10 years ago's data, so it's even less than 15%, perhaps around 12, 13% or so. This means that more than 85% of Texas population live in urban areas today. A second dynamic is that diversity of Texas population has also been increasing. Starting from 1970s, when we look at the distribution of various ethnicities and races in the state of Texas, we see that the fastest growing group is the Hispanic population, and then the African American population has also been increasing. And those who are classified as others, such as Asian population and Europeans and other groups have been, such as Middle Easterners, etc., have been increasing as well. So Texas population has been increasingly more diverse, and minorities overwhelmingly vote for democratic politics, since the priorities in democratic politics is to serve the interests of the entire society, particularly those of the less advantaged groups in the society. That's why it's called democratic politics. They prioritize democracy, so accordingly, these minority groups tend to vote for democratic politics. And this particular graph here in the slide reminds us one of the main reasons why Texas is predicted to be one of the most overwhelmingly democratic voting states in the near future. A third reason, which is related to the second reason, is the rise of Hispanic population in the overall population of Texas. Texas will be either the first or the second minority-majority state within 20 years. California may be the first one, and Texas may be the second, according to the demographic predictions. And as we mentioned in the last slide, Hispanic Americans tend to vote for the Democratic Party more so than Republicans. So this is another major dynamic that will be influencing Texas politics in the near future. A fourth reason is the rising education level. We see that the higher the education level, both in the U.S. and in Texas, we see that the average income rises and the unemployment rate falls. So education, and coupled with various opportunities for financial aid, education level has been increasing in the state of Texas. And also the public opinion polls and actually Census Bureau statistics from the U.S. government show that higher the education level, higher or lower the level of conservatism individuals typically have. So as a result, political scientists argue that rise in education level corresponds with increasing support for liberal politics, which is currently represented by the Democratic Party in the United States. A fourth dynamic is the fact that the Texas economy has been increasingly technology and information oriented and finance oriented type of economy, and the role of agriculture has been declining. Agriculture is conventionally one of the three main sectors in the state of Texas that contributed most to the state's GDP, which is gross domestic product, which is the total production. And the significance of agriculture and livestock and similar activities has fallen down to a little over 12% of the Texas economy today. Vast majority of the Texas economy is contributed by the fields of finance, mining, oil and gas are still major, manufacturing, and other government and similar services. So this is another reason why Texas is reckoned to be one of the most democratic voting states in the near future. And one last reason why some observers, political observers, argue that Texas has a very blue future, if you will, is the fact that it's one of the states with the lowest voter turnout rate. When we look at the public opinion polls, we see that vast majority of the non-voting part of the Texas population are Hispanic individuals in the state. So, and Hispanics overwhelmingly vote Democratic when they cast their ballots. So, in the last 10 presidential elections, more than half of Texans did not even vote, and vast majority of this group is Democratic voters if they vote. So, if Democratic Party leadership in the state manages to mobilize this group, this vast majority of the voters in the state, or I shouldn't say vast, but the majority of voters in the state, somehow in the future, then their prospects of winning Texas will be quite high. So these are the future of Texas politics in a nutshell, according to the insights provided by political scientists, demographers, and economists, and sociologists to some degree. Hope you enjoyed exploring partisan politics in the state of Texas. See you next week. Have a great day.